Hey YouTubers, Carter here with Handy Freight. Today we're going to be replacing the fuel filter housing on my LLY Duramax. It's a 2004.5. We got Mountain Dew covering to help keep the wind down here in Minnesota. So I got the new part here. And I think what's wrong with mine is the heating element that goes right here. I think it might have went out because I was testing it the other day and it wasn't getting any warm. So we're just gonna replace the whole housing. I picked it up at AutoZone for $130. So we're gonna start by taking off the fuel filter, which I started already by unplugging this wire. To the other end of it, it's just right here on the other side of the intercooler piping. To unplug it, you just push in the button here on the plug. This one right here. Just unplug it. Then you're just going to take off your fuel filter, which that can be a hassle. If you're new to taking off your fuel filters and you got the space, you can always jack it up and take off the tire, take out the inner fender. It's a lot easier to get to, or if you're struggling to take it off. I'll probably just take it off how it is. So I'll get that off and I'll be back. Alright, I got the filter off the housing now. So there's the water separator on the bottom there. If you're going to replace your fuel filter, I'm not, because this one's not too old. You would, there's a special tool you can buy, or else you can just use a pair of channel locks, and this white piece just spins out. This little tap on the bottom to drain the filter. I just take it out and dump it in a thing like that. So I'm just gonna set the filter off to the side. Then up next, I'm gonna go with removing these two fuel lines. So this line feeds into the housing. This line leads somewhere else. I can follow it. I assume it'd lead to the injection pump, something like that. So I'll get those lines off, then I'll be back. For lighting, I'm using this flashlight here from Harbor Freight. They're about $25. Really nice because they have a magnet on the bottom, so you can just stick it on there, shine it down in your work area. Here's what I use to get the filter off. It's a little big, but it works. So I'll get those lines off, show you the tool that I used, and then I'll be back. Okay, so here's the tool I used to take off the hose clamps. You just get the clamp in that, and then you squeeze the handle. It'll ratchet onto the tool, or the clamp. So that's a pretty nice tool. I ended up having to take off the intercooler tube to get to this clamp. So now that we got that all off, should be able to just pull off these lines, hopefully. Maybe not. I'll get back when I get these lines off. Okay, I got those two lines off. There's one down there, right here. And I finished off another one because it was trying to pour diesel out. I threw it over there. So up next, you're gonna remove these two 12 millimeter bolts. You can get them with a regular wrench, but ratcheting wrench works better if you're going the right way. I am not. Remember, I'm only a 16-year-old, so if I can do it, you can probably do it too. Looks like you just gotta break them loose without taking out the AC line. That would be good. Don't drop the tools. I used a pry bar, just a tiny one, to take off those fuel lines. Made it easier. So looks like now I can just unscrew it. Oh, before I forget, there's another plug you gotta undo. It's this one right down here. This one's for the heater part. I believe you gotta push in that little button, so I'll have to go grab a pick for it. Yeah, you gotta push in that button then, or no. There's a little plate there that you have to pry up. I'll show it to you once I get it out. Okay, so it's just that little piece, plastic piece right there. You just pull it up, then unplugs. So now that we got that off, now we can undo these 2 bolts. They're just right in there. Set them up right there so I don't lose them. Should probably have a little bolt then so you don't lose them, but there's only 2. So I'll get these out and I'll be back once I get it out. Okay, I got this old housing out. So here's the plug for the wire heater. If you look at it, I'd assume that has to be the heater there. So if we compare that to this one looks a lot cleaner. So hopefully it works better. Another thing that I noticed between the 2 is this one has the plastic cap to vent out your air. This new one that I have has the brass one, so that should be nice. So to install it, you're just gonna do the steps opposite. You're gonna bolt it on, plug it in the heater cord, put it back on your fuel lines. I'm probably gonna end up changing out those clamps with the type that you tighten up with a screwdriver or socket, because I really hate those pinch style clamps. So I'll get this installed and I'll come back. Yeah. Okay, I got it all put back together now. I just got those 2 bolts pretty snug. I don't think there's probably a torque spec for them, but who cares about that. I got the fuel filter back on. I just need to prime it now. I got the fuel lines back on, hopefully right. Got the intercooler boot on, hopefully it doesn't leak. I changed out the clamps for this type because they're a lot easier to get off. So to prime your fuel filter, you're just gonna pump it a lot. You're just gonna pump it till it gets hard. You can pre-fill your filter if you want. I don't, because I usually end up spilling half of it anyways if I do. So I just pump it till it gets hard. It's starting to get hard now, a little bit more. Maybe more than I thought. There we go. So once that's all primed up, I just check for some leaks. You're gonna let it sit for a bit. Then you're gonna prime it again and then start it. So I'll come back once I get it running.